彼を縛るのは愛ではない。無意識に仕掛けられた配置だ。追っていない。駆け引きもしていない。約束も未来の話もしていない。それなのに彼は落ち着かない。距離を置こうとしても戻ってくる。頭ではやめた方がいいと分かっているのに、感情が引き戻される。あなたは不思議に思う。私は何をしてしまったの？答えは残酷で同時に単純だ。あなたは彼の無意識に仕掛けを置いた。それは言葉ではない。行動でもない。心理的な配置だ。これから語るのは、禁断の真実、男性が狂ったようにあなたを求め、逃げられず夢中になる3つの仕掛けの正体。それは恋愛テクニックではない。色気でもない。演技でもない。ユング心理学の原点が示す無意識の構造そのものだ。カール・ユングは言った。人は相手そのものに惹かれるのではない。相手が無意識の中でどの位置に置かれたかに執着する。つまり彼が狂うのはあなたが魅力的だからではない。あなたが彼の心の中で抜けられない位置に置かれたからだ。多くの関係は役割で終わる。優しい人、都合のいい人、安心する人、刺激的な人。役割は代替可能だ。だが位置は代替できない。一度そこに配置された存在は同じ深度で他を置けない。思考が強い男は感情で縛られる。感情が強い男は思考で縛られる。感覚が強い男は意味で縛られる。直感が強い男は現実で縛られる。だが人を狂わせるのは常に抑圧されてきた側だ。彼は言う。なんでかわからないけど気になる。理屈じゃない。離れた方がいいのに無理だ。これは感情の暴走ではない。無意識の再配置が起きているサインだ。理性が説明できないとき、すでに不快そうで仕掛けは作動している。最初は小さな違和感だ。読めない沈黙、説明しない態度、距離の取り方。彼の影はそこに引っかかる。なぜなら影はわからないものに反応する。沼らせる女、計算高い。ユング心理学ではこれは完全な誤解だ。最も深い執着は意図されない配置から生まれる。ここであなたに問う。あなたは彼に何かを与えただろうか。それとも何かを残しただろうか。狂わせるのは与えたものではない。残されたものだ。次のブロックではこの物語の核心。男性を逃げられなくする3つの仕掛けの第一を解体する。それは多くの女性が無意識に壊してしまうものだ。もし理由はわからないのに離れられなかった男を思い出したなら、いいねで合図してほしい。その時あなたがしていなかったことをコメントに残してほしい。男を最初に狂わせるのは与える女ではない。満たさないまま壊さない女だ。気を使った。理解しようとした。不安を取り除いた。それなのに最初は近づいてきた彼がいつの間にか落ち着き、やがて距離を取る。あなたは混乱する。こんなに与えたのになぜ？ユング心理学はこの問いに冷酷な答えを出す。満たされた無意識は探索をやめる。ユングは人間の精神は常に欠けている側へ保証的に動くと述べた。これは意志ではない。反射だ。満たされた場所にエネルギーは流れない。だが安全な欠如がある場所には無意識が戻り続ける。ここで言う満たさないとは冷たさでも拒絶でもない。すべてを説明しない感情を先回りして処理しない不安を完全には消さない。だが同時に関係を壊さない、否定しない、拒まない。このバランスが無意識に未完了の安全領域を作る。彼は会えば落ち着く。だが 完全には満たされない。話せば安心する。だが、すべてはつかめない。この状態は無意識にとって最も不安定で最も魅力的だ。なぜならここには危険がないのに答えがない。思考機能が主の男は答えを探し続ける。感情機能が主の男は感情を確認し続ける。感覚機能が主の男は体験を繰り返したくなる。直感機能が主の男は意味付けを終えられない。だが、劣等機能が満たされないとき、執着は始まる。彼の影はこう囁く。まだ分かっていない。もう一度確かめたい。ここには何かがある。影は完全な光よりも未来を言語化した。この瞬間、欠如は消える。探索は終わる。無意識は次へ移る。沼らせる焦らす。ユング心理学では、これは違う。安全がない欠如は恐怖になる。安全がある欠如だけが執着になる。ここで、あなたに問う。あなたは彼に安心を与えただろうか。それとも、すべての答えまで与えただろうか。前者は引き寄せる。後者は終わらせる。次のブロックでは、第二の仕掛け男が逃げたくても逃げられなくなる決定的な心理構造を解体する。それはほとんどの人が優しさだと勘違いしているものだ。男が逃げられなくなる瞬間は愛された時ではない。自分を失ったと気づいた時だ。頭では分かっている。危険だと、深入りすべきではないと。それなのに距離を取ろうとすると心がざわつく。別のことをしていてもどこかであなたを探している。彼は自分に苛立つ。なぜこんなに引きずるんだ？この矛盾こそが第二の仕掛けが作動している証拠だ。ユング心理学では人の精神は自我、エゴを中心に均衡を保とうとする。自我とは自分が何者かどこに立っているか何を基準に判断しているか。その中心点だ。人は自分の中心がどこにあるかを失うと強烈な不安を感じる。そして無意識はこう反応する。元の位置に戻れ。だが問題は元の位置がもう機能しなくなっていることだ。自信が揺らぐ判断が鈍る普段の論理が通じない。これは弱くなったのではない。自我の基準がずれただけだ。あなたの存在が彼の無意識に新しい基準を提示してしまった。思考機能が主の男は自分の論理を疑い始める。感情機能が主の男は感情の基準を失う。感覚機能が主の男は現実感が揺らぐ。直感機能が主の男は未来の見通しを失う。だが、主人公が迷子になると物語は止まる。自我がずれると影が前に出る。衝動執着脅迫的思考。彼は戻りたいと思う。だが戻る場所がわからない。答えは単純だ。あなたの前でだけ。彼はずれた自分を感じた。つまりあなたは原因であり、同時に唯一の手がかりでもある。自信をなくさせたらダメ。ユング心理学ではこれは半分だけ正しい。壊してはいけない。だが、揺らすことは必要だ。揺らぎのない自我は変化しない。ここで、あなたに問う。彼はあなたの前で安心していられただろうか。それとも、揺らいでいただろうか。後者なら、第二の仕掛けはすでに働いている。次のブロックでは、最後にして最も危険な第三の仕掛け男が理性を超えて執着する理由を語る。それは彼自身も最も認めたくない感情だ。そしてもし今の話のどこかで心が引っかかったなら一つだけ伝えておきたい。コメント欄の固定コメントにジャン心理学をベースにした沈黙が彼の無意識に何を起こしているのかを もっと深いレベルで解き明かした特別な電子書籍のリンクを置いてある。言葉よりも沈黙が彼の心を動かす理由、その裏側の仕組みが知りたくなる瞬間が必ず来る。その時にそっと覗いてみてほしい。男が理性を失う瞬間は快楽の中ではない。自分の影を見せられた時だ。急に怒る。急に黙る。急に距離を詰めてくる。昨日まで冷静だった男があなたの前でだけ感情を制御できなくなる。あなたは戸惑う。私、何かした？していない。あなたは彼の影に触れただけだ。人が最も恐れるのは拒絶でも孤独でもない。自分が自分でない可能性だ。影、シャドウとは弱さ依存支配欲不安未熟さ。これら自我が認めなかった側面だ。影を否認すると人は逃げる。だが影を安全に見せられると人は離れられない。なぜなら影は統合を求めているからだ。あなたの存在が彼にとって壊れずに影を見られる場所になると無意識はそこを手放さない。本音を漏らす過去の失敗を話す情けない感情を出す。これは信頼ではない。影の露出だ。影は安全だと判断した場所でしか姿を現さない。思考機能が主の男は論理崩壊として影が出る。感情機能が主の男は感情爆発として出る。感覚機能が主の男は衝動行動として出る。直感機能が主の男は意味喪失として出る。だが影が出る瞬間、主人公は舞台裏に下がる。彼女は評価しない、修正しない、解決しようとしない。ただ崩れない。この崩れない態度が影を安全に止める気になる。励ます正論を言う、解決策を出す。これは優しさに見える。だが無意識では影を拒絶されたと感じる。その瞬間、執着は切れる。あなたは彼を変えようとしなかった。だが彼はあなたの前で変わり始めた。変化は外から与えられると拒否され、内から起きると執着になる。ここであなたに問う。あなたは彼の弱さを見たとき何かをしてあげただろうか。それともただそこにあっただろうか。後者なら第3の仕掛けはすでに完成している。次のブロックではこの3つの仕掛けが揃った後に起きる危険な副作用を語る。なぜ沼は愛と紙一重なのか。もし彼が急に感情的になった瞬間を思い出したなら、いいねで合図してほしい。彼が見せた一番弱い部分をコメントに残してほしい。沼は愛ではない。だが愛へ変質する直前の構造を持っている。最初は求められている感覚だった。必要とされている実感だった。だがある日から空気が変わる。反応が早すぎる、距離に敏感になる、あなたの一言に揺れすぎる。あなたは感じ始める。これは少し違うかもしれないと。その違和感は正しい。3つの仕掛けが揃った後、必ず現れる副作用だからだ。ユング心理学では、影は本来自分の中に統合されるべきものだ。だが、安全な場所が見つかった瞬間、人はこう考える。ここに置いておけば楽だ。すると影は自分の中ではなく他者に預けられる。これが投影の始まりだ。あなたは何も変えていない。態度も距離も言葉も。だが彼の中で役割が変わった。理解者受け皿安定装置。あなたはいつの間にか彼の内面管理者になっている。機嫌をあなたで調整しようとする、不安をあなたに預ける、決断をあなた基準で考える、君がいないとダメという。これは愛ではない。自我の害虫だ。思考機能が主の男は判断をあなたに委ねる。感情機能が主の男は 感情処理をあなたに任せる。感覚機能が主の男は安心行動をあなたに求める。直感機能が主の男は未来の意味付けをあなたに預ける。だが、主人公が舞台監督を他人に任せたとき、物語は歪む。彼を狂わせた。求めさせた。逃げられなくした。だが、自分を守る仕組みを持っていなかった。すると、沼はあなたを飲み込む。執着される価値が高い。ユング心理学では、これは危険な誤解だ。執着は、統合の失敗を示すサインでもある。ここが分岐点だ。彼の不安を引き取らない決断を代行しない感情の責任を返す。これをしないと、関係は依存へ落ちる。ここで、あなたに問う。あなたは彼に求められる女でいたいだろうか。それとも、選ばれる女でいたいだろうか。前者は沼。後者は関係だ。次のブロックでは、この危険な副作用を超えて沼を自立した愛へ変える方法を語る。それは、ほとんどの人が怖くてできない選択だ。もし、少し重くなってきた関係を思い出したなら、いいねで合図してほしい。彼があなたに預けてきたものをコメントに残してほしい。彼を狂わせたままでは、関係は壊れる。彼を自分に戻した瞬間、沼は愛へ変質する。あなたは何かを言わなかった。何かを引き受けなかった。何かを代行しなかった。すると彼は不安になる。だが、去らない。むしろ、態度が整い始める。この現象に多くの人は恐怖を覚える。冷たくしたら失うのではと。だが、ユング心理学は真逆を示す。ここが関係が壊れる分岐点ではない。成熟する分岐点だ。影の統合は誰かがやってあげるものではない。自分で向き合った時にだけ起こる。あなたが不安を消さず決断を代行せず感情を預からない。この瞬間、彼の無意識はこう判断する。これは俺の問題だ。完全に距離を取ると関係は切れる。完全に抱え込むと依存になる。必要なのは戻れる距離だ。近すぎず遠すぎない。この距離は無意識に責任を返す。彼が考える時間が増える感情の爆発が減る言葉より行動が増える確認が減る。これは冷却ではない。自立の兆候だ。思考機能が主の男は自分で結論を出し始める。感情機能が主の男は感情を自分で整理する。感覚機能が主の男は現実行動に戻る。直感機能が主の男は未来を自分で選び直す。だが、主人公が再びハンドルを握った時、物語は進み出す。ここで影はあなたに張り付かない。彼の影は彼の中へ戻る。あなたは救済者でも治療者でもない。ただ、崩れなかった存在だ。すぐに安心させない答えを与えない感情に巻き込まれない。これをすると嫌われる気がする。だが現実は違う。この態度が尊重を生む。彼があなたを試さなくなる感情が安定する距離を尊重する未来を急がない。これらが現れたら、関係は依存を超え始めている。ここで、あなたに問う。あなたは、彼の不安を持ち続けたいだろうか。それとも、彼に返す勇気を持てるだろうか。この選択が、最後の分岐点になる。次のブロックでは、沼を越えた後にだけ起きる、最も静かで、最も強い反応を語る。それは、彼が一切言葉にしない変化だ。そして、もし今の話のどこかで、心が引っかかったなら、一つだけ伝えておきたい。コメント欄の固定コメントに、ジャン心理学をベースにした、沈黙が彼の無意識に何を起こしているのかを、もっと深いレベルで解き明かした特別な電子書籍のリンクを置いてある。 言葉よりも沈黙が彼の心を動かす理由、その裏側の仕組みが知りたくなる瞬間が必ず来る。その時にそっと覗いてみてほしい。男が本当に離れられなくなる瞬間、それは追いかけている時ではない。自分で立ち直った後だ。連絡は減った。感情の波も静まった。執着の言葉も消えた。多くの人はここで誤解する。冷めたのでは？興味を失ったのでは？だが、真実は逆だ。彼はやっと自分の足で立った。そして立った場所からあなたを見ている。ユング心理学では、影が統合されると人は多くを語らなくなる。なぜなら内的葛藤が減り、表現する必要がなくなるからだ。執着していた時の男は常に揺れていた。確認し、求め、試していた。だが統合後の男は語らず動く。人は不安な時ほど言葉を使う。安心した時、言葉は減る。これは無関心ではない。安定のサインだ。あなたを失わないと無意識が理解した瞬間、彼は沈黙を恐れなくなる。思考機能が主の男は余計な説明をしなくなる。感情機能が主の男は感情を振り回さなくなる。感覚機能が主の男は行動が一貫する。直感機能が主の男は未来を誇張しなくなる。だが、統合された主人公は演説しない。予定を乱さない距離を尊重する一貫した態度駆け引きがない。これらはロマンチックではない。だが、最も壊れにくい愛の形だ。この段階で、影は前に出ない。なぜなら、影はもうあなたに預けられていないからだ。彼は自分の影を自分で扱っている。もっと盛り上げなきゃ、何か言わせなきゃ。この瞬間に揺さぶると、せっかく整った配置が崩れる。静けさは完成形だ。ここで一つの問いを置く。彼はあなたが何もしなくても態度を保っているだろうか。もしそうなら無意識はすでに決めている。ここであなたに問う。あなたはこの静かな確信に耐えられるだろうか。それとも刺激がないと不安になるだろうか。この体制が関係の寿命を決める。次のブロックは最終章。なぜこの3つの仕掛けは男を狂わせるのではなく一生忘れられない存在に変えるのか。沼の正体を完全に回収する。もし何も言わないのに態度が安定した男を思い出したなら、いいねで合図してほしい。その静かな変化をコメントに残してほしい。男が一生忘れられなくなるのは狂わされたからではない。自分を取り戻した場所があなたになったからだ。もう会っていない。連絡もしていない。関係としては終わっている。それでも選択の前で思い出す。弱った時に浮かぶ。迷った瞬間に基準として現れる。それは恋ではない。未練でもない。あの時の自分に戻る感覚だ。あなたは彼の人生に感情ではなく心理的な座標を残した。カール・ユングは人間の無意識は出来事を保存しないと考えた。保存するのは構造だ。自分が崩れた瞬間それでも壊れなかった場所再び立て直せた感覚。あなたは彼にとって感情が壊れなかった構造そのものになった。1、満たさない安定無意識に欠如を残した。2、自我のずれ古い基準を壊した。3、影の鏡自分を否認せずに見せた。この3つが揃った時、無意識はこう判断する。ここは戻れる場所だ。沼とは依存ではない。操作でもない。抜けられない配置 W だ。抜けられないのは感情が強いからではない。自分が自分でいられた振動を他で再現できないからだ。思考は正しさより整合性を選ぶ。感情は強度より安定を選ぶ。 感覚は刺激より現実を選ぶ。直感は幻想より方向性を選ぶ。そして最後に主人公は静かに選べる自分へ戻る。影はあなたに預けられなかった。だから彼自身の中に戻った。それができた場所は他ではなかった。あなたの前だけだった。愛されようとした女は忘れられる。理解されようとした女も忘れられる。だが自分を取り戻させた女は人生の構造として残る。ここで最後に問う。あなたは誰かに必要とされたいだろうか。それとも誰かが自分に戻る場所でありたいだろうか。前者は一時、後者は一生だ。ここまでたどり着いたなら、それはあなたの無意識が今統合しようとしているテーマだ。そしてユング心理学で無意識、影、執着、愛の真相をさらに探求するならチャンネル登録を。物語は終わる。だが彼の中であなたはもう感情ではない。選択を正す静かな基準になっている。
We begin here. This is the statement that we want you to consider. In the subject of thoughts turning to things, and that's what creation is. That's what deliberate creation is. Thoughts turning to things. You are physically focused in your human experience, and you want things to manifest. You want relationships to manifest. You want money to manifest. You want lifestyle to manifest. You've been hearing us say for a while that the way you feel or the emotion that you feel in any moment in time is a manifestation. So here's the statement. On the subject of thoughts turning to things, in the beginning of those thoughts turning to things, or as those vibrations are gaining momentum, or as the trend is just being decided by you, the evidence is indistinguishable to you through your physical senses. You just can't see it. The earliest of progress, in fact, quite a bit of what's going on, you might say behind the scenes, or if you were a seed in the ground, you might say beneath the soil. But those beginnings, those vibrational beginnings of evolution and expansion, and here's the word you want, progress. Progress toward the bank account you want, or the relationship you want, or the physical bodily conditions that you want, is indistinguishable to you. That means a whole lot's going on that you can't prove through the physical evidence of it. Now, understanding that is very helpful to you. Being negative about it is not helpful to you. In other words, we get it. We understand why some of you might complain about that. Well, if I can't know that I'm making any progress, then how do I stay optimistic or positive? How do I find faith or expectation when it keeps not showing up? And that's the part that we really want to talk with you about, because it is absolute that it would show up if you could, when you do, maintain more consistent trending. But you don't maintain more consistent trending of optimism or positive expectation because you want to take score of the manifestation before it is seeable or hearable or smellable or tasteable or touchable, while it is still indistinguishable to you through your physical senses, not through your emotions. You can feel it in your emotions. That feeling of discouragement, in fact, is your guidance system giving you an indication that you are trending in opposition to what you want. And that trending is what is so important. You must maintain a positive expectation even before you see the evidence, or you will not see the evidence. If you want it and doubt it and 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 want it and doubt it, then you trend toward it and away from it and toward it and away from it and toward it and away from it. And so it maintains that indistinguishable position on and on and on and on and on for days or weeks or decades or for all of your physical life experience for no good reason other than you're not applying what you now know about focus. That's why, if you've been listening to us for a while, you've been hearing us say it's been an important part of the trending or theme of every conversation that has ever flowed from us to you. And that theme is, there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. You never get it done. But you sure can slow down by thinking opposing thoughts, by trending in opposition to your desire. And so, as we move forward through this conversation, we want you to listen for how easy it seems for humans to trend in opposition to their desire, because you are, we love you so much, so enamored with the now. What you're seeing in your now holds a much bigger part of your vibration, of your focus, of your trending, than is good for the outcome that you seek. You must decide to trend because of the way you feel, not because of the manifestation. The manifestation is old news anyway. The manifestations that you're living are the jumping off places for more manifestations, for more life experience. So what is doesn't mean diddly squat. What is not important in the way you make it, other than it is the basis from which you are now choosing what you prefer. But if what is the basis by which you decide your rightness or wrongness in relationship with others, if what you see is the basis by which you evaluate your worthiness or your ability, then what is not serving you in the way that it could. It's a platform. It's a bouncing off place. But it is not distinguishable evidence of what you've got going on now. It's the result of what you've had going on. So that leads us back into a discussion that we have with you often, and feel the importance of how these two conversations dovetail together. This is the subject of the path of least resistance. And we want to say right up front with emphasis, your path of least resistance is an ever-changing, ever-evolving path. But in your human societies, so often you want to come to rules or decisions, sometimes that you dig up, that have been written and buried, lived by those ancient civilizations. Sometimes not so ancient, sometimes it's just things that you learned from your parents that someone drilled into your head. And we're not by any means in any way wanting to discount the wisdom that you've gathered along your way. But we are wanting to say to you that you have right now in the moment fresh, dependable, accurate guidance coming forth from source energy that is exactly for you. We don't want you to take anybody else's word for it, not ours, not anybody's. We want you to show yourself that you can accomplish a conscious relationship with your inner being. Because, and here's the way to do it. You care about how you feel. Why does that work? Because your inner being is pure love. And your inner being cares about how you feel and how everyone feels. Your inner being cares so much that your inner being never deviates from value, from the moment-to-moment giving of value. Your inner being never holds a thought about you or anyone else that is diminishing in nature. There is no regression. Your inner being never holds you to something in a negative stance. Therefore, if you will decide that you will care first and foremost and most often about how you feel, which is your indicator of how you are blending or dovetailing with the vibrational frequencies of your source, of that source within you, then you will hold yourself in the replenishing mode. You will hold yourself in the attitude of clarity. You will hold yourself in the attitude of most love and most exhilaration about life. That's where your passion and enthusiasm and joy come from, and nothing else will do. Yes, of course, there are other humans who moments in time are tuned in, tapped in, turned on to that, and when they hold you as their object of attention, they're like satellite dishes that beam you or call you or influence you into that frequency. And that's a nice thing. We know that happens here in these gatherings for you. But you don't want to be dependent upon these gatherings or upon anyone else, upon any condition or circumstance. You want to be an unconditional lover and liver of life. An unconditional meaning you hook into the frequency of who you are because you know it exists, because you know it is good, because you know it is being broadcast to you, and because you know how to follow the beam or the signal. You can tell by the way you feel whether you are on the upper half of the emotional scale, which is from that feeling of letting go all the way up to passion, as compared to that feeling of not letting go. And your inner being is always on the upper half of the scale. And you want to be aware of where you are. And it's helpful to understand where you are in relationship to where others are. Sometimes someone is really on the lower half of the emotional scale, and they would really like to have a chat with you. What they really want is for you to agree with them, to help them justify where they are. But when you do that, you don't help them. And it certainly does not help you. And your inner being does not do that for you. So, trust the process and know that there's a whole lot going on that is indistinguishable to your eyes and ears and nose and fingertips and tongue, but it is not indistinguishable to your emotions. And when you feel an emotion that doesn't feel that good, or one that feels really awful, stop and say to yourself in the moment, this is distinguishable to me. I can feel that I'm moving in opposition to who I really am and to what I really want and to what my vortex, my vibrational reality holds for me. And as you remind yourself of this law of the universe, the law of attraction, and of these laws of deliberate creation that you've been learning from us, and from this powerful emotional guidance system which shows you this powerful art of allowing, the art of allowing you to be in vibrational sync with what you've become vibrationally, that you are in the process of allowing yourself to become in all other aspects. The law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. What you give your attention to, you're offering a vibration. And that vibration is being answered in endless ways because of the frequency of your output. You get what you think about. Wanted or unwanted, you get what you think about. Because when you focus, your attraction mechanism is on. Even if you are focusing by default. Most people do most of that through observing what's already manifested. Not observing what's in the vortex, not observing what is really wanted, observing what's going on. That's why most people just continue to regurgitate Different places, different faces, but the same thing over and over again. This law of attraction, very important to understand. Utilize the emotions that you feel in order to discern what your point of attraction is, wanted or unwanted. Deliberate feeling is what deliberate creation is. It's not deliberate observation of what's going on around. It's deliberately feeling your emotions. You can do, in real time, moment by moment, better and better and better trending. And when you do that, you allow what has been indistinguishable, what has been not seeable or smellable or hearable or tasteable or touchable. You allow the momentum of your creation to gather enough momentum that you are able to discern it. We know you're getting this. You have come to the place where something you've been wanting for a while, even though it is not yet manifest, is not only tolerable, but, well, let's just start there. It's tolerable. You're able to put up with unfulfilled desires. It's all right for now to have an idea of something and not have it manifested. That's all right with you? We understand, but you've really got to get so you say yes to that before things will start coming easily, because it is that very discomfort that you feel over things not yet manifesting that causes a longer and longer and longer delay in the manifesting. Because when you want something and you notice it hasn't happened yet, and you keep noticing that it hasn't happened yet, and you keep feeling the way you feel when you notice it hasn't happened yet, that feeling is your indicator that you're offering a vibration because it hasn't happened yet that matches it not having happened yet. And as long as the vibration that you're offering is about it not having happened yet, then it can't happen. So, do you sort of get it that you must, as a deliberate creator, decide that you are not going to offer your vibration in response to what is. Because if you are offering your vibration in response to what is will remain as it is. You have to find a way of molding the energy into something that matches what you want. Most of you, even those of you who are beginning to understand about emotion, understanding that it is your guidance system, even those of you who are beginning to understand that it is a vibrational universe in which you are focused and that you are vibrational beings, still, most of you offer your vibration in response rather than in deliberate offering. Something happens, you respond vibrationally. We want you to understand that deliberate creating is about offering a vibration by purposeful intent. I'm offering this vibration because this vibration matches my desire, and if I offer this vibration which matches my desire, then my desire must manifest. 99.999999. Most of every creation is complete before you see any physical evidence. It is complete in the vibrational sense. So, if you are offering your vibration in response to what you're observing, and what you're observing is that what you want has not yet come, now you continue to offer a vibration about it not yet having come, which means you're holding yourself in that uncomfortable place, that gap, that lag between identifying that you want it and receiving it. So when we say to you, have you come to the place where those unfulfilled desires still feel all right? You feel eager, you feel hopeful, you feel anticipation. You're looking forward to it unfolding, but you're not disappointed that it has not yet unfolded. Now you're getting close to the vibrational proximity that's going to let it flow. We want you, as you begin to bring this idea of allowing the energy that creates worlds to flow through you toward your creative end. We want you to feel how well named this gathering is, as we call it, the art of allowing, because you become very practiced, very good, very artful. You become very practiced at recognizing where you stand by recognizing how you feel. So we're just going to say it to you in as plain of words as Esther can find in response to the powerful intent that we are offering to you. You have to want more than anything to feel good. And you have to be willing to work harder on this than anything else on feeling good. And here's the blunt statement that we want you to leave here remembering. You've got to stop letting what is dictate your emotional response. So, somebody hurts your feelings. You don't want to be somebody that somebody can hurt your feelings. You don't want to be hanging out there so tentatively that terrorists could strike in a part of the world that has nothing to do with you, and it can make you afraid. You don't want to be hanging out here in such a fragile position that someone that you care about could be disconnected, having a bad day, say something to you and hurt your feelings, and have them, who you can't control, wouldn't want to even if you could. We're speaking from your inner being point of view, of course. Well, we can see why you would want to control other people's behavior if you're someone who hasn't learned the art of allowing. If you're looking around and having emotional responses to what you're seeing, we can understand why you'd get pretty heavy on the trying to control circumstances and conditions. But by now, we would have thought you would have given that up because you're not able to do it. And as soon as you get one of them corralled and managed and molded in the way that they need to be so that you can look at them and feel good, another one just pops up. Or that one goes off and meets some new friend and starts catering to what they want instead of catering to what you want, and then you're back to square one again. You spent 18 years teaching that kid how to behave, and then he fell in love, and now he's doing what she wants. So if the way you feel is dependent upon controlling even one condition, you're in big trouble because you can't manage to control those conditions, but you can manage with all of the possible things that you have that you could focus upon and think about and remember and ponder and muse and observe and imagine. With all of the things that you could focus upon, past, present, or future, certainly there are enough things that feel good when you do it that you can manage your own mood. And the art of allowing is nothing more than managing your mood. It's saying, I want to feel good, and when I do feel good, I'm in alignment with good things. Now, conceptually, that's really easy to understand, isn't it? But you've trained yourself to respond to so many things other than that, even though you were born with a guidance system, even though you were born with this incredible ability to assess in every moment your vibrational point of attraction. It is interesting to us when we see you not understanding today that a good feeling is a good thing, and that a bad feeling is not such a good thing. We want you to be willing to feel good on purpose for a little while and to watch the results of that deliberate offering of vibration. But that means directing thought on purpose. And directing thought on purpose, you could tell us this, in fact you do often, is not as easy as we make it out to be. Because, and here's where we let you off the hook, but only briefly, so don't get used to it. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So if you've been focusing by virtue of some circumstance or events that you've been living on something that's causing you to offer a particular vibration, we acknowledge that it is easier for you to find other thoughts that match that vibration than it is to find very different thoughts. In fact, we'll really let you off the hook by saying, but only briefly, so don't get used to it. we will really let you off the hook by saying you actually cannot find thoughts that are very far from the thoughts that you are thinking. In other words, if you're depressed and some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Abraham student comes to you and says, you know, you create your own reality and you're supposed to feel good and things can get better for you, all you have to do is cheer up. You're thinking, I do not create my own reality or you'd be gone. It's just annoying to have someone all bright and happy and sure of themselves flapping in your face when you are in a place of not feeling good. We know that, but what we want you to understand is unless you make an effort to feel better and unless you accomplish feeling better, you have not shifted your vibration at all. And if you have not shifted your vibration, things cannot change. And dear hearts, there is not enough effort in the world to make the difference. You can't work hard enough. You can't work long enough. You can't gather enough other resources to you. You cannot buck the current of your own vibration. But unless you have convinced yourself that the way you feel is guidance and that good is moving toward what is good, is that hard to understand? Well, it's hard to understand by many of you who have had many people who didn't want you to move toward your good. They wanted you to do what they thought would move them toward their good. So they said to you, never mind how you feel, do what you should do. And what you should do is what I say you should do. And so disregard your own guidance and pay attention to these rules that I have laid out for you. And oh boy, are there piles of rules. Each one offered from somebody else's vantage point, each one offered so that you can fulfill something that they need because so many of them are still living a very conditional love. They want to feel good. They're well-meaning. They want to feel good and they need you to behave in a certain way so that they can feel good. But do you hear the trap? So they need to feel good, so they set out rules, so you follow the rules so that they can feel good. But they can't get everybody to follow the rules, so they never really feel good. So they keep offering more rules, and you keep getting more lost because you are not using the guidance that you were born with to quantify your own journey. Have we convinced you? Have we convinced you that the way you feel is everything? Do you believe that when you feel good, you are in a vibrational place of allowing what you want in? Please believe it, because there is nothing that could be more accurate. So we're going to be a little heavy today. I'm going to emphasize it a great deal, because it really is what the art of allowing is about. We want you to leave here, if not already really good at it, at least determined to get better at it, at being one who molds your energy, let's say it in a different way, of being one who creates your own mood. Because you understand that when you create a mood of joy, you're allowing everything that you've been asking for to come in. When you create a mood of love, you're allowing everything that you want to flow in. When you create a mood of expectancy, you're allowing everything you want. When you feel ornery, when you feel pessimistic, when you feel afraid, when you feel angry, even when you're frustrated and overwhelmed, those are indications that you've got your frequency set in a different place, and sincere, concentrated, deliberate molding is in order. So if someone says to you, what are you working on these days? Tell them, I'm working on my own mood and attitude. And if they're wise enough to ask you why, tell them, because that's my true, in the moment indication of how many of the wonderful things that I have been praying for and asking for, I'm allowing into my experience right now. Tell them, I'm no longer dictating my focus by whether it's interesting or whether it's important or whether somebody else is pointing at it or whether somebody else has made a big deal about it. I'm no longer guiding my sculpture of my life by any outside factor or guidance. I'm guiding it completely by the way I feel. And when you get there, now you are ready to travel with us on an emotional journey that will take you into the resources and the realm of all things wonderful that you have ever imagined. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And there is nothing that is keeping you from the accomplishment or the achieving of anything other than your own attitude, other than your own mood, other than your own focus, other than your own emotional response to what you're giving your attention to. So leave this gathering today deciding that you're no longer one whose feelings can be hurt because your feelings are no longer up for grab. Because your feelings are not dependent upon what somebody else thinks or does. Your feelings are dependent upon your choice of focus. And since that person that may hurt your feelings also could not hurt your feelings, you've got choices in your imagination. And since that person that may have just hurt your feelings has also done things that thrilled you, you have choices in your memory. And because that person who's trying to hurt your feelings right now is not the only person in your awareness right now, you've got choices right now. You have choices. The emotional journey says, and this is where we're letting you off the hook again. The emotional journey says the choices that you have are not from despair all the way to bliss. You don't have that choice, not right now.